forward.
You mentioned two fears, the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. Very real fears, very normal fears, and natural to have. Nothing wrong with you if you've experienced those. I certainly have. As you've been pointing out, Shannon, the idea is how to take those and reframe them as fuel in the right scenarios. But there is one fear that I think might be the biggest one. We humans are naturally change resistant. We like our habits. Because they're shortcuts, right? Once we get into a routine, things are comfortable, and you've learned to become uncomfortable when things are too comfortable for you. But that's not a natural thing. That's something you've clearly learned over time, and a valuable thing.
Yeah,
but
a lot.
I'm sure it has. Yeah, for sure. Right. But the fear that I think is the most powerful one, and the one that we all need to be afraid of the most, is fear of success. And I know that it sounds crazy to say that, but success brings change. In fact, it often brings more change than failure, a lot more change than failure. Because if your business succeeds, whatever that means, let's say you increase revenues by 10, okay, tenfold. Well, that's amazing in and of itself. However, what other changes come along with that? How many more employees do you need to have? Right? How many, do you like now? Do you need to worry about a different kind of insurance for your business? There are. I'm not going to ask, are there? There are a lot of other things that are going to come along with as responsibilities with that 10x growth. We all want that 10x growth. We say we want it, but at our core, that's massive change. And that fear of success is, I've always said it's the flip side of the fear of failure coin. And I think the fear of success is far more powerful and far more stagnating than the fear of failure for most of us. And I think, for me, certainly, and others that I've spoken with and sort of had this conversation with, whenever thinking about a new thing, it's not the failure that I'm worried about. It's the success that I find like, oh gosh, what is this going to mean? And I've experienced it with employees too. I had one person, this was probably 20 years ago, where they went in 1 year from making about $35,000 a year to making about $80,000 a year. We changed their position. We put them in a position of growth where they had some risk to manage, and they did very well with it. And through that year, there was a point where this person was like almost paralyzed from not being able to, to keep them from working. Yeah. And it was because they didn't know what to do. They're like, do I deserve this extra money? This isn't me. This isn't the past you. This is current you. And it also is future you, but future you could be even more than this, but let's not talk about that right now. Let's not throw too much fuel on this fire.
Right.
But
a lot of it, I think, is that some of us have that imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, and, absolutely.
And I think we've all known people or ourselves that you can easily self-sabotage your success.
Oh yeah,
based on those fears and based on the changes that they bring in your life. And I've had partners and people that I've been involved in that when significant amounts of money have come in, either from selling a business or some large deal that we did, I've seen it where it can really, I had a guy that, I did this with, and he had to go see go into therapy.
Yeah.
Because it was so overwhelming, and you hear something you've thought about your whole life. And maybe part of that is many of us think that it related to money anyway, that if you just had more, it would solve so many of your problems. But in reality, it often creates a lot more problems that you have to, or different problems that you have to look at with a different mindset. And I've seen it where folks, do it. And then I've seen people that never reach the level of success that you think they should because they stop themselves.
They self-sabotage. Oh, yeah.
They self-sabotage.
Yeah. And I say they, which is true. I've seen other people do it. I've also seen me do it.
Oh, we all do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do it. Yeah. And so just being aware that it's a thing that we all can potentially suffer from, look for the signs of that. Like, wait a minute, who's stopping me
Really
here?
good. Point that out.
It's me. And, we were talking in the beginning of the episode about the things that I've learned that I can, point to my businesses being more successful and me just as a human being more successful in large part because of the show. A lot of it is that just like, okay, I am the person that is the most in my way. I would say if we rewound 7 years and you asked me, well, what are the things stopping your business? I would have pointed at many external factors. And I now know that that's not true.